Today we'll be talking about polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to evaluate, add, subtract, and multiply polynomial functions. Evaluating a function means we just have to take the number that's given, x equals positive 3, and plug it in for x. So do we get 2, plug it in for x, 3 to the 4th, minus 5, and then 3 to the 3rd, minus 4 times 3, plus 8, and we evaluate it. Now this f of x, that's just another way to say y. It does not mean f times x. So this f of x, when we evaluate, 3 to the 4th power is 81, 3 to the 3rd power is 27, minus 12 plus 8, 2 times 81 is 162, 27 times 5 is 135, minus 12 plus 8. When we combine those all together, we end up with f of x is equal to 23. And no, you may not use the calculator to do this evaluating. So pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, so we plug in negative 2 in for x, for all the x's that we see here. We get negative 2 to the 4th power plus 2 times negative 2 to the 3rd power plus 3 times negative 2 squared minus 7. To negative 2 to the 4th power, because this exponent is even, that's going to make our number positive. So 2 to the negative 2 to the 4th power is 16. Plus 2 times negative 2 to the 3 power is negative 8. Negative 2 squared is 4, so 4 times 3 is 12, and then minus 7. And then this part of the problem becomes negative 16. When I add that all together, I get a positive 5. And remember that f of x is just another way to say y. Now we have this thing called synthetic substitution, which is actually faster, I would say, than regular substitution. You just have to understand how it works and be able to do it correctly every single time. So we take this x equals 3, and we put it in this little box right here. I have no idea why. It's just something that somebody created at one point. And then we write down all the coefficients in f of x. We need to make sure that we put zeros in for the coefficients that are missing. So if we look at this equation here, x to the 4th, the coefficient is 2. For x to the 3rd, our coefficient is negative 5. And then we're missing the x squared. That would normally be here. So we need to put a 0. And then x is negative 4. And then we have a positive 8. Now what we do is we bring the first number down, 2. And then we multiply the number in the box here times the number that we just wrote down. So 3 times 2 is 6, and we put that here. And then we add, negative 5 plus 6 is positive 1, and then we do it again. 3 times 1 is 3, we put it there. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15, and then 8 plus 15 is 23. And if you remember 2 slides ago, we got 23 for that slide as well. And this is the same problem. So you pause the video and try it with this problem here. Okay, so this is our 4 in our little box. Right, write down all our coefficients. So x to the 3rd is 1, x squared is negative 5, x is 6, and then we have 1. We're not missing any variables in between. So we write down the first number, and then we multiply. 4 times 1 is 4, and write that here. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Add that together and we get positive 2. 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. So when we evaluate this problem, you should end up with a positive 9. Now it doesn't matter which method you use, synthetic or regular substitution, whichever way gets you the correct answer is good enough for me. Now on to adding and subtracting polynomials. So just like before with the i's and any other polynomials we've had before, right, we want to combine like terms, and don't forget to change the sign when we're talking about subtraction. And subtraction only. So this problem asks us to add. Remember that it says to add. And we can line them up underneath like we used to with just regular numbers. If we had 123 plus 137, we would line it up like this and add them together. Well, we can do the same thing here with these. I can take this and line it up underneath under the correct terms. So x cubed would go under 2x cubed. 6x squared would go under 5x squared. That's a positive. Oops. And then the positive 11 would go under the 9 because it's the constant. And then we add them together because it asks us to add. So 2x cubed plus x cubed is 3x cubed. Negative 5x squared and 6x squared is positive x squared. Plus 3x, and then negative 9 plus 11 is positive 2. And we're done. Remember, the key to these problems is that you can see what they're exactly asking you to do. So remember to read the directions first. We all have trouble with reading directions, so make sure we read directions first. So the next problem asks us to add. So again, we're going to line them up. So negative 4y squared goes under the negative 2y squared. And the 2y goes underneath the 7y. And we don't have a constant, so the negative 5 goes at the end. And we add that together, we get 3y cubed. Negative 2y squared and negative 4y squared is negative 6y squared. Negative 7y and positive 2y is negative 5y. And then negative 5. So let's try subtraction. Now remember, with subtraction, they could also look like this with a subtraction in between. Whenever we have subtraction, we want to change subtraction to addition and change all the signs to the right. So the 8 becomes negative, the x squared becomes positive, the 5x becomes positive, and the 1 becomes negative. Make sure you change all the signs to the right. And then now we line them up because it's addition, just like the other slide. So we get negative 8x cubed, 8, positive x squared, positive 5x, and negative 1. And then we combine them together. So 3x cubed minus 8x cubed, and we get negative 5x cubed. 2x squared and x squared, we end up with 3x squared. Negative x and positive 5x is positive 4x. And then positive 7 and negative 1 leaves us with positive 6. And we're done. So we've done evaluating, adding, and subtracting. Now let's move on. So they want us to multiply this. So just like before with the I, when we talked about it, you can either FOIL. Oops, not void. Let's erase that D. So you can FOIL it out, or you can use the box, just like we did before. So let's say we want to use the box. This is a trinomial, so it has 3 terms in it. So we need 3 boxes going along the top. And this one is a binomial that's got 2 terms in it, so two terms going down. Now you can flip this rectangle the other way around and have the y minus 2 on top and the trinomial on the side. It's completely up to you. I usually do it this way because it saves more room in the long run. So we get negative 2y squared and then 3y and negative 6. On the side we've got y and negative 2. So when we multiply it out, negative 2y squared and y, we get negative 2y cubed. 3y and y, we get 3y squared. Negative 6 and y is negative 6y. Negative 2y squared and negative 2 is positive 4y squared. Negative 2 and 3y is negative 6y. And negative 2 and negative 6 is positive 12. Then we combine our like terms here and here. And we end up with negative 2y cubed plus 7y squared minus 12y plus 12. Just like that. Now remember, the box is solely for organization, kind of keeps everything nice. Some people prefer the box just because of it makes their work nice and neat and they don't forget negative signs here or there. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try this one yourself. Okay, let's see if you got this one correct. So again, we've got a trinomial and a binomial. So put the binomial on the side, then we've got the 3x squared and negative 2x and positive 4. So just like the Punnett square, 3x squared and x, we get 3x cubed. 3x squared and 3, we get 9x squared. Negative 2x and x, we get negative 2x squared. And then negative 2x and positive 3 here, we end up with negative 6x. And then positive 4 and x, we get 4x. And then positive 4 and positive 3, we end up with positive 12. And then we have like terms here and like terms here because this one has an x squared and this one has an x squared. This one has an x and this one has an x. So we combine our like terms here and here. And we end up with 3x cubed and positive 7x squared. And negative 2x and positive 12. Just like that. Now this problem, we commonly make mistakes because we confuse this with what we did yesterday. So we have x plus 3 cubed, or I'm sorry, x plus 5 cubed. We cannot just cube this one and cube this one, right? Which a lot of us made these mistakes on the last test that we took. What this thing is saying is I need to take x plus 5 and multiply it times itself 3 times. Well, that is completely ugly. Let's try to change that one. Fix that right up there. And as you can see, when we FOIL this out, we're not going to get just x cubed plus 5 cubed. And we're in Algebra 2 now. Our life is never that simple anymore. So we need to FOIL this out first, and we get x squared plus 10x plus 25. And you can FOIL it out and get the middle part if you wish. And then we can multiply it again with x plus 5. X squared and x, that's x cubed. X squared and 5, that gives us 5x squared. 10x and x, that gives us 10x squared. And 10x and 5x gives us 50x. Then over on the right, we get 25 times x, that's 25x. And we get 25 times 5, that gives us 125. And then we combine like terms here and here to get x cubed plus 15x plus 75x plus 125. Just like that. So why don't you pause the video and try the next one on your own. So this one asks us to multiply, and again, just like the last one, we have xy minus 4, and then xy minus 4, and xy minus 4. When we FOIL this part out, we get x squared y squared minus 8xy plus 16. I will FOIL it out here on the top for you. This xy times xy gives us x squared y squared. We learned that earlier today or yesterday if you're watching this video on Wednesday. And then outside xy times negative 4, we get negative 4xy. And then inside negative 4 times xy is negative 4xy. And then last, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And then we combine like terms here, and that's how we get the x squared y squared minus 8xy plus 16. Now we can use the box again to keep ourselves organized. So we get x squared y squared times xy. We get x cubed y cubed, because remember, same base, we add the exponents. Negative xy and xy, we end up with negative 8 x squared y squared. And then 16 and xy gives us 16xy. X squared y squared and negative 4, we get negative 4x squared y squared. Negative 8xy and negative 4 gives us positive 32, running out of space, xy. And then the last box is 16 times negative 4, which is negative 64. Right? And we combine like terms here and here. If I can read my handwriting, x cubed y cubed minus 12x squared y squared plus 48xy minus 64. just like that.
The same thing as her point.